Have you ever asked yourself what makes someone truly irresistible? Is it their charm, their looks, or the way they carry themselves? What if I told you it's none of those things? True attraction goes much deeper than surface-level traits. It's not about what you say or do, but the energy you radiate, the unspoken language of confidence and presence that speaks louder than words and lingers in people's minds long after you've left the room. Now imagine this. You walk into a room and without even uttering a word, the energy shifts. People glance your way, conversations pause ever so slightly, and a quiet curiosity begins to build around you. You're not trying to stand out, yet your presence draws them in. It's subtle, magnetic, and completely undeniable. Not because you're chasing attention, but because you've tapped into a power most people don't even realize they possess. A calm confidence that radiates from within, captivating everyone around you. This kind of presence isn't about pretending to be someone you're not, or faking confidence you don't feel. It's not about loud gestures or demanding attention. Think about it. When was the last time you were drawn to someone who seemed desperate for approval? Attraction isn't born from chasing others or being the loudest voice in the room. It's born from something deeper: self-assurance, emotional mastery, and the quiet mystery of someone who doesn't need attention to feel whole. The ancient Stoics knew this better than anyone. They understood that true power isn't external, it's internal. It's not about controlling others, but about mastering yourself. They believed that by focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, emotions, and actions, you could become unshakable. And when you become unshakable, people sense it. They're drawn to it because, in a world filled with chaos and uncertainty, calm confidence is rare and irresistibly attractive. Now, here's the real secret. When you combine this timeless Stoic wisdom with a few proven psychological principles, you unlock a presence so powerful, so magnetic, that others will find themselves drawn to you without even understanding why. You won't have to chase anyone. Instead, they'll be chasing you. In this video, I'm going to break it all down for you. I'll show you how to cultivate a presence that's impossible to ignore by merging ancient philosophy with modern psychology. By the end of this, you'll know exactly how to walk into any room with the kind of energy that not only attracts people, but keeps them coming back for more. And if you're ready to take this journey and start becoming the person others can't help but notice, drop the phrase, "Attraction starts within," in the comments right now. Let's show the world how powerful it is when you master yourself, embrace your inner strength, and radiate the confidence that turns heads without even trying. Here's the truth most people don't want to admit. You can't control how others feel about you, but you can control how you show up in the world. Attraction begins the moment you stop trying to manipulate how others see you and start focusing on mastering yourself. The ancient Stoics believed that the only things within your control are your thoughts, emotions, and actions. When you embrace this philosophy, you shift your focus inward. And that's when everything changes. Think about it. How do you feel when you meet someone who is calm, composed, and completely at ease with themselves? They don't need to prove anything. They're not trying to impress anyone. Instead, they radiate an unspoken confidence that makes you want to be around them. That's the foundation of attraction. It's not about chasing someone's approval or playing mind games. It's about becoming so grounded in yourself that others can't help but be drawn to your energy. This starts with emotional mastery. If you're quick to react, easily offended, or constantly seeking validation, people will sense it. In a world where most are ruled by their emotions, the person who remains calm and collected stands out. The Stoics called this ataraxia, a state of serene calmness. When you embody this, you become a rare force of stability in a chaotic world. and others will gravitate toward you because they feel safe and intrigued in your presence. Next, it's about knowing your value, not in an arrogant way, but in a quiet, self-assured manner. When you know your worth, you don't seek external validation because you're already whole. This makes you stand apart from the crowd, where most people are desperately trying to be noticed. People are drawn to those who don't need attention because it makes them curious. What makes this person so confident? What do they know that I don't? That curiosity is the spark of attraction. Finally, it's about how you carry yourself. Your body language, your tone of voice, even the way you enter a room. These all reflect your inner state. Stand tall, speak with purpose, and make eye contact that shows you're fully present. These small changes send a powerful message. I am here, I am confident, and I am in control. That energy is magnetic. Mastering yourself isn't easy, but it's the foundation of triggering attraction that lasts. And if you're ready to build that foundation, drop the phrase, "I control my energy," in the comments. Let's see how many of you are ready to own your power and start transforming your presence today. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you were truly captivated by someone? Not because of what they said or did, but because there was something about them you couldn't quite figure out. They had an air of mystery, a quiet, intriguing energy that left you wanting to know more. That's the power of mystery, and it's one of the most effective tools in triggering attraction. You see, human nature craves the unknown. We're wired to be curious, to want answers to what feels just out of reach. But here's the thing, most people reveal too much, too quickly. They overshare, they explain themselves unnecessarily, and they give away every detail of their lives, thinking it will make them more likable. In reality, it does the opposite. It removes the intrigue. It's like opening a book and already knowing how it ends. There's no excitement, no suspense. The key to becoming magnetic is to keep them guessing. Don't reveal everything about yourself at once. Share just enough to spark curiosity, but leave parts of your story untold. Let them wonder, what's behind that calm smile? What drives them? What are they not saying? That gap between what they know and what they want to know is where attraction builds. This doesn't mean you should play games or be deceptive. It's about being deliberate. Speak with intention. When you talk about yourself, share meaningful pieces, but avoid dumping your entire life story. And remember, the way you carry yourself also contributes to your mystery. A calm, confident demeanor signals that you're not seeking approval. You're comfortable in your skin, and that's enough. Even in moments of silence, mystery thrives. Most people rush to fill quiet moments because they fear awkwardness. But the person who embraces silence, who can hold a moment of stillness without breaking, radiates confidence and control. That calm presence draws others in, making them lean forward, wanting to know more. The Stoics taught that control over your words and actions is a form of power. When you choose what to share and what to hold back, you're not just being mysterious, you're showing that you value yourself, and others will value you for it. So, how do you start building this mystery today? Begin by speaking less and listening more. Let your actions speak louder than your words. And if you're ready to step into this magnetic power, drop the phrase, "Intrigue is my strength," in the comments. Let's see how many of you are ready to create that spark of curiosity that draws people in without saying a word. Let's be honest, confidence is attractive, but there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance, and understanding that line is what separates someone who is genuinely magnetic from someone who comes off as trying too hard. True confidence isn't loud, it isn't boastful, and it doesn't demand attention. Instead, it's quiet, steady, and deeply rooted in self-awareness. When someone is truly confident, you can feel it in the way they carry themselves. They don't need to prove anything to anyone, and that makes them stand out. On the other hand, arrogance is a mask for insecurity. It's often loud, desperate, and fragile, crumbling at the first sign of criticism. But the kind of confidence we're talking about here, the kind that triggers instant attraction, is built on something real, an unshakable belief in your own worth and abilities. The Stoics had a saying, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That's where confidence begins. It's not about external validation. It's about knowing who you are and being okay with it. When you stop seeking approval from others, you free yourself from the fear of rejection. And when you're not afraid of rejection, people sense it. They're drawn to your calm and self-assured energy. But let's make one thing clear. Confidence doesn't mean dominating every conversation or always being the center of attention. In fact, the most confident people are often the ones who listen more than they speak. They know their value doesn't come from impressing others, but from their ability to connect on a deeper level. They don't need to make everything about themselves, and that humility makes their confidence even more powerful. Body language plays a huge role here too. Stand tall, shoulders back, with a steady gaze that says, "I'm comfortable in my skin." When you speak, do it with purpose. Don't rush and don't mumble. A confident tone carries more weight than 1,000 words. And remember, confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being authentic. Own your strengths, but don't be afraid to laugh at yourself or admit your flaws. That balance between self-assurance and humility is magnetic. If you want to start building this kind of confidence today, practice shifting your focus from external validation to internal growth. Ask yourself, am I proud of who I am and how I'm showing up? That's where true confidence begins. And if you're ready to embrace this kind of unshakable self-belief, drop the phrase, "I own my worth," in the comments. Let's show the world that real confidence doesn't need to shout. It simply is. Here's a truth that most people overlook. We value what feels rare and unique. Scarcity is one of the most powerful psychological principles in attraction because it taps into a fundamental human desire to have what feels just out of reach. Think about it. When someone is always available, always chasing, always trying to please, it's easy to take them for granted. But when someone has a certain level of exclusivity about them, suddenly they're intriguing, desirable, and unforgettable. Now, scarcity doesn't mean playing games or pretending to be unavailable. It means recognizing your own value and prioritizing your time and energy accordingly. When you make yourself too accessible, people subconsciously begin to undervalue you. But when your time, attention, and presence feel like something special, something they have to earn, it triggers a powerful sense of attraction. The Stoics believed in focusing on what truly matters and avoiding distractions that pull us away from our purpose. Apply that same principle to your relationships. Don't give your energy to everyone who asks for it. Instead, be intentional about where you invest your time and attention. When you're selective, you send a clear message. I value myself, and I don't give away my energy freely. But here's the key. Scarcity doesn't mean being cold or distant. It's about balancing availability with boundaries. Be kind, be present, but also make it clear that your life doesn't revolve around anyone else. When people see that you have a fulfilling life of your own, they'll want to be part of it. They'll want to chase you because they'll feel like they're earning something valuable, your time and attention. This also ties into unpredictability. When someone can't fully predict your next move, it keeps them intrigued. Don't always be the first to reply. Don't always say yes to plans. and don't always be available. Let them wonder what you're up to. This isn't about manipulation. It's about creating space for curiosity and desire to grow. Scarcity is one of the reasons people are drawn to those who seem busy and purpose-driven. When you have goals, passions, and a life outside of seeking validation, you become naturally scarce. And that scarcity makes you stand out in a world where most people are overly accessible. So, how do you start practicing this today? Set clear boundaries, protect your time, and focus on building a life that's so full and exciting that others can't help but want to be part of it. If you're ready to embrace the art of scarcity, drop the phrase, "I protect my energy," in the comments. Let's commit to valuing ourselves and creating a presence that others can't resist. Have you ever been drawn to someone, not because they were overly kind or overly distant, but because they struck the perfect balance between the two? They gave just enough attention to make you feel special, but they also left you wanting more. This is the essence of the push-pull technique, a subtle yet powerful way to create emotional tension that keeps people hooked. Attraction thrives on uncertainty and excitement. When you're too predictable, people lose interest. But when you can create moments of closeness followed by just a touch of distance, you ignite curiosity and desire. It's like a perfectly tuned guitar string, too tight and it snaps, too loose and it's dull. But when it's just right, it creates harmony. Here's how it works. Imagine you're having a great conversation with someone, and the vibe is amazing. Instead of staying in that moment too long and losing the spark, you end the conversation on a high note. You leave them wanting more. That's the pull. Then, when you're not around or not immediately available, that's the push. It creates space for them to think about you and miss your presence. But let me be clear, this isn't about being manipulative or playing mind games. It's about understanding that emotional tension is a natural part of attraction. The Stoics believed in balance, in knowing when to lean in and when to step back. By practicing this balance in your interactions, you create a dynamic that feels exciting and memorable. The push-pull technique also shows that you're not overly reliant on anyone's attention. When you're always available, you risk coming across as clingy or desperate. But when you're selective about when and how you engage, it shows self-respect and confidence. You're not chasing, you're inviting. Here's an example of how you can apply this. Let's say you're texting someone. You send a thoughtful, engaging message that adds value to the conversation. That's the pull. But then, instead of responding instantly to their reply, you wait. You take your time, showing that you're not glued to your phone. That's the push. It creates a rhythm, a sense of anticipation that keeps the interaction fresh and engaging. When done right, the push-pull technique creates an emotional roller coaster, one that people don't want to get off. They'll find themselves thinking about you, wondering when they'll hear from you next, and feeling a sense of excitement every time they do. If you're ready to start mastering the push-pull dynamic and creating that spark of intrigue, drop the phrase, "I control the rhythm," in the comments. Let's take control of our interactions and create connections that are truly unforgettable. Have you ever been in a conversation where someone made you feel like you were the only person in the room? They weren't distracted, they weren't checking their phone, they were fully present, completely engaged in the moment with you. That kind of presence is magnetic, and it's one of the most underrated tools of attraction. In today's world, genuine attention is rare. People are constantly distracted, rushing from one thought to the next, barely making real connections. But when you show someone that you're fully focused on them, listening, observing, and engaging, you immediately set yourself apart. You make them feel seen, heard, and valued, which creates an emotional connection that's hard to forget. The Stoics were masters of presence. They believed in living fully in the moment, focusing on what is happening now instead of being lost in the past or worried about the future. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Confine yourself to the present." When you adopt this mindset, you not only create a sense of calm within yourself, but you also project an energy that draws others to you. People can feel when you're truly with them, and it leaves a lasting impression. Presence isn't just about listening to what someone is saying, it's about noticing the details. Pay attention to their tone, their expressions, and their body language. Reflect back what they're sharing. Ask meaningful questions and make them feel like their words matter. This kind of focus creates a sense of intimacy and trust, which is a powerful foundation for attraction. But here's the secret. Presence isn't just about the other person. It's also about how you carry yourself in the moment. When you're fully present, you radiate a quiet confidence. You're not distracted or fidgety, because you're grounded in the here and now. This calm and collected energy is incredibly attractive. It signals that you're in control, not easily shaken, and comfortable in your own skin. Body language plays a big role in presence too. Maintain steady eye contact, not in a way that feels intense, but in a way that shows genuine interest. Use open, relaxed gestures and avoid distractions like checking your phone or glancing around the room. When you give someone your undivided attention, it sends a powerful message. You matter to me in this moment. Mastering presence isn't just about making others feel good. It's also about strengthening your own sense of self. When you practice being fully engaged, you stop worrying about what others think or how you're coming across. You focus on the connection, and that authenticity is what draws people to you. If you're ready to start showing up fully and creating connections that leave a lasting impact, drop the phrase, "I am fully present," in the comments. Let's commit to bringing our best energy into every moment and becoming the kind of person people can't help but be drawn to. Have you ever met someone who seemed so genuine, so authentic, that you couldn't help but feel drawn to them? They weren't perfect, they didn't pretend to have it all figured out, but there was something about their openness that made you feel safe, understood, and deeply connected. That's the subtle power of vulnerability, and it's one of the most effective ways to create real attraction. Vulnerability doesn't mean spilling your darkest secrets to someone you've just met. It means being real, showing your human side, and letting people see glimpses of your true self. In a world where so many people wear masks and hide behind facades, authenticity is rare and incredibly attractive. The Stoics taught the importance of knowing oneself, including accepting one's weaknesses and imperfections. They understood that strength isn't about pretending to be invincible, it's about embracing your humanity. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." This doesn't mean being hard on yourself, but rather holding yourself accountable while showing compassion toward others. When you allow yourself to be vulnerable, you give others permission to do the same, creating a bond that goes beyond surface-level attraction. Here's how vulnerability works in your favor. It creates trust.